Today we got a new variant of free-for-all in Titanfall 2. Let's have a look at its mechanics and go over my general opinions after a couple of hours of matches in this new mode. Free Agents works a little bit differently than your standard free-for-all. Instead of building your Titan meter by killing other players or by damaging their Titans, in this variant you can only build your Titan meter by picking up neutral batteries that spawn in locations around the map, similar to, but sometimes not identical to, the battery locations in LTS. The goal is to collect 3 batteries in order to spawn your Titan. If you die with either 1 or 2 batteries on your person, you're going to drop however many of those that you had on the ground, and you're going to lose all progress towards your Titan. If for some reason you have a Titan already and you're holding like 10 batteries, then when you die, you're going to drop all 10 of those at the same time. So you can't just touch a battery and then die 3 times in order to get your Titan. You have to hold 3 batteries all at once in order to earn your Titan. Whenever you die, you lose that progress. So you're going to have to amass these 3 batteries somehow, some way, and honestly, it's a little bit hard in the later stages of the game, as we're going to talk about later. So when you acquire all 3 of these batteries, they're going to disappear from your person, and they're essentially exchanged for your Titan. So you're not going to be starting your Titan with a battery unless you grab a 4th battery or you use the battery boost. However, I cannot recommend that you use your battery boost in this way most of the time. The reason being is that activating your boost counts as one of the 3 batteries that you would need to get a new Titan. So use up your first Titan, let it die, whatever. And when that one is all finished up, you're going to save that battery boost you got from your first Titan life. So when you grab 2 batteries, you can use that battery boost and get your second Titan very, very quickly and very, very easily. So theoretically, you should be able to start activating that battery boost right before you pick up battery number 2. So like you grapple in, you stim in, whatever, you have 1 battery in your person, you're really close to that second battery. You activate the boost a little bit early, so you go from 1 to 2. And then at that same moment, you pick up the one on the ground, you go from 2 to 3. So you have that very quick transition from 1 to 3 batteries. There's a very low risk of you dying and losing your progress. You're very much so likely to get all 3 of those batteries at the same time. And even if you die immediately after, you're at least guaranteed to have your Titan. Because once you hit that 3 battery count, your Titan is charged, it's ready, you have it, you can die, and sure, you may be dropping 3 batteries for someone else, and they're going to get their Titan instantly too, but hey, at least you have yours. So it's a reasonable way of approaching the game if you choose to use that battery boost. Anyways though, let's move beyond the basics. If you're one of the first players that gets your Titan in the game, then it's going to be pretty easy for you to start holding down 1 or sometimes 2 of those battery spawns at the same time, depending on the map you're playing on, and you're going to essentially remove the ability for enemy players to easily earn their Titans. I particularly like Tone because the 40mm cannon is fantastic for shooting pilots both directly and via splash damage, and you can drop that particle wall in order to defend yourself while you disembark to pick up more batteries as that round progresses. You can very easily defend yourself in a way that no other Titan can. It's really, really cool. And this battery control is the real strategy here for winning in these games. Once you have your Titan, your goal isn't necessarily to get as many kills as possible. Those are going to come naturally over time. Remember, you have a really long timer to win the game, and as long as you have a Titan and no one else does, you are potentially way far ahead and way in the lead over anyone else in the game, and that needs to be your prime directive, is just getting your Titan, maintaining your Titan, and then preventing other people from getting into their Titans. So your goal, just like I said, deny batteries, prevent enemy Titanfalls. You're going to be very successful by just making these things happen. When you kill a pilot with any number of batteries, your number 1 priority is to camp those batteries until you have a safe moment to disembark, pick them up, and put them into your own Titan. Even if you have full health and a full core meter, you just got a full stick of butter in any way that you slice it, it doesn't matter. Get those batteries off the map and into your Titan, because it's going to put your enemies significantly behind in their ability to fight you, let alone actually knock you out of your Titan. Just imagine it like this. If there's 3 battery stands on the map, and a battery spawns every 30 to 40 seconds, By taking 2 batteries and putting them into your Titan, you're making it extremely difficult for anyone in the game to get a Titan for the next minute. It's really, really powerful. And when you do it a couple, 3, 4, 5 times, you're significantly reducing the number of Titans that drop in the game, which means you have a higher potential of staying alive, not giving points to the enemy team, or rather to the enemy players. And if you're not giving points up, then it's a lot harder for them to score. And it's a lot easier for you to score because you're in a super Titan tank god mode, and they cannot possibly hope to fight you or defeat you. It's very, very oppressive and lopsided and one-sided, and you need to try your best to push this advantage as much as you possibly can if you can get that early Titan. Now, one of the really cool things that was introduced in this game mode is the ability to carry multiple batteries at a time. So let's say you have a Titan down in the field, and for some reason you're running around as a pilot, you could potentially pick up like 3, 4 batteries if you happen to find that many without dying. And if you get back into your Titan, you will put all of those in simultaneously. So you're going to get benefits from every single battery you have on your person. It's actually really, really cool, and something that's brand new to Titanfall. This was never a mechanic before until this game mode became a thing. I had a moment in one of my games, and I'm not sure if I have this clip, so please don't yell at me if I don't actually have it to show you, but I was playing on Boomtown, and I dropped a tone, and I used overcore my tone, so that puts me at 30% core meter flat, just straight up. I have 30% core meter always there at minimum. I brought 3 batteries, and I put all those in my Titan, all in one embark, and that dropped me at 90% core build, which is absolutely nuts. Like, getting into a tone for the first time and having 90% core just straight up as soon as you drop it is insane, right? If you're that first Titan drop and someone else is lucky enough to also get a Titan drop shortly after, you will nuke them from the earth. It's actually crazy. Like, this mechanic makes such a difference in how this game mode plays out, and it really contributes to the snowbally nature of it, because if you get that first Titan, you kill some poor cloak pilot who has 2 batteries, and you get out, drop a particle wall, make yourself essentially invincible from both the front and back, basically from the front with the particle wall, and the back because your Titan's body is just huge. You pick up 2 batteries from his corpse, drop them into your tone, suddenly you're healing from all that anti-Titan weapon damage you're taking while you're doing this battery maneuver, and you're getting your core up. It's really, really unfair, and you got to abuse it if you want to have the highest percentage chance of success in this mode, I feel. Now, that doesn't mean you must do it or you're bad, because I know I'm going to get 9,000 comments saying, Frothy, how dare you suggest that people play to win? But really, like, if you want to have the highest percentage chance of winning, I do feel like tone with that particle wall and that phase embark is just simply the way to go. Now, if you don't want to play tone, or you're too good to play tone, it's too scummy for you or something, then Ion, Monarch, and Ronin are all some really fantastic choices as well, and they will all serve you well indeed. So they're all going to have different playstyles, they're all going to approach the game differently, but each of those 4 Titans are going to be probably the best picks for this mode. Legion is questionable. I mean, you can do a lot of damage, but you also have no mobility, so you're going to get murdered by enemy Titans whenever they do inevitably drop. You're going to have a lot of issues in controlling multiple battery zones just because you can't move fast enough, and you only have that hit scan long range mode, so if you miss a couple of shots, you're kind of screwed. You don't have those crutches in, whatever other abilities your Titan might have. You only have that one thing. So Legion isn't necessarily bad, but I do feel like the other Titans that I mentioned before might be a little easier to use and a little bit more consistent. So without going too far off the deep end, I think those are pretty much the fundamentals of what's good and bad in this mode and what you can do to succeed within it. So let's go ahead and move on to my personal opinions about the mode. So frankly, it's hard for me to make a good opinion about it because we're not playing the mode as it's intended. This is supposed to be a 1 versus 11. It's supposed to be a 12-player lobby, and due to low population or some kind of weird bug with matchmaking, I really don't know what's causing it, I haven't heard of anyone finding a full match in this mode whatsoever. The highest number of players that I've seen in a game was either 6 or 7, and that was pretty fun because it was different and that I had so many people I had to worry about a lot of things, but the majority of my games have 5, 4, 3, sometimes 2 players in them, and frankly, whatever conclusions I draw from that player count does not hold any weight on the actual game mode as is intended. So take all this stuff with that little asterisk in mind, and that all my opinions here are based upon the fact that I can only find games with half population. So all this stuff that I've been talking about can go completely out the window when you have a proper populated match, because the meta can shift entirely. But if we're assuming that your average game is going to have between 4 and 6 players in it, then this is kind of how things go. But then again, if everyone is playing this game mode in the quote-unquote wrong way because there's so few players, then is it really wrong at all if everyone is playing it that way? Like, politics aside, here's my opinion straight up. This mode is a cool idea and has some interesting mechanics that I think are really cool to explore and feel out. I really love the concept of holding multiple batteries at once and giving that some sort of value. Like being able to just catalog 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 batteries, however many you feel like, and then making one big super deposit into your Titan is cool. I like playing with that. It feels good to kill a guy and grab 4 batteries from him and give a super Titan, but at the same time, like, being on the receiving end of that sucks a lot. Like, you worked hard for those 4 batteries, and one guy that's randomly 40 milled you out of the air, or smart cored you out of the air, or whatever, and then you're so insanely far behind that you honestly might have more fun by pressing the power button on your console and then just playing a new match entirely, because it's such a huge swing in power that it cannot be fun to be on the receiving end of that. Luckily for me, I was pretty much never on the receiving end of that, but it's got to feel bad for some people, man. It really has to feel bad for anyone who just happens to lose a fight. It's going to happen sometime, and it's going to suck. So that's the really, I don't know, it's the elephant in the room of what makes this mode questionable to a lot of players, and why I think it might have some population difficulties within the first 24 hours of it coming out. It's just, if you're not winning right away, a lot of players are going to leave the match because they feel like they cannot possibly come back, and I don't think that they're wrong. I do think that there are some significant balance issues with this mode because of the way you get your Titan. If you're getting camped, if you cannot get those batteries to start off with, then you are so just beyond screwed that you cannot possibly hope to come back and win the game. It's oftentimes better to just quit the game and try again, and it's hard to blame people for doing that. I know that I've snowballed on a lot of people in this mode in the first 2 hours, and I know a lot of other people are going to be doing some snowballing, and probably 3 to 5 times more people than that are going to be the ones receiving the snowballs, and it's just simply not going to be fun. I don't know. I think that this free-for-all variant, while it has some good ideas, and while I do appreciate what they're trying to do here, I cannot recommend that anyone actually plays this mode, because it's really only going to be fun for the top-tier players to pad their KD ratios. It's only going to be really good for the people who get that first Titan up right away and can start dominating and controlling a match. Now, if you can start finding, I don't know, a full match of 12 people, then all this stuff can very easily go out the window, and it can become a much more chaotic and fun and interactive and engaging mode. But as it stands, with the average game being 4 to 6 players, it just does not play correctly. And again, I feel bad about judging the game mode so harshly because of this, because it's not the way it's intended to be played. But if it's the only way it can actually be played, I mean, screw the intention. If it's the only way you can actually play it, then it's the way that you have to evaluate it. So I really hope that Respawn can figure something out here to get the proper number of players into matches, because I would really love to give this game mode a second try and experience it the way it's supposed to be experienced, because I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but as it stands, I just don't know. I mean, it's very one-dimensional, very simple, and just not fun. It's really just not fun. So I hope Respawn can figure it out. I hope you guys have had a better experience than me, and if you've had some full matches and you think that you have some intel on what this game mode can actually play like with more players, then please let me know. I really want to know. I really want to play this game mode in the proper way. Anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.